We started about early 2013. The first 12 months obviously was quite difficult because all we had was fortnightly meetings hoping to find some accommodation, which took us about a year before we were fortunate enough to find this place. So then we came in at a peppercorn rent, took in on a couple of rooms. One was a meeting room and we had a small workshop. And then this allowed us to pull in more members.
So I erected the joiner's workshop first. Then we expanded on to an engineering shop, then on to a wood turning shop. And finally we erected partitions up to create our kitchen with a little help from some of the men. We got gifted this kitchen from a friend of mine, and one of the committee members and myself went down and took it out of her house for her, since she was gifting us it. And we came and fitted it into the kitchen, and it's now up and running and being used quite well. And we've now made the area into a cafeteria and a library. And in here we allow anybody who is a charity to get the use of the kitchen if they want it. We ran a class for ourselves through Tayside Health Board, and they've had one 6-week course learning the men how to do basic cooking. And we're waiting on 6 names, and they're going to come back and do another course.
We were fortunate to get a couple of small grants which enabled us to buy big pieces of equipment, big circular saws. These are the sort of things that we don't have at home in your back garden, and have been quite key, I think, in terms of some of the things that we've been able to do with the Carse of Gowrie District Men's Shed.
We have here a workshop with a range of lathes, ranging from a quite small one here, which has been specially set up at a low level for somebody who has to work sitting down, through a series of small and medium-sized lathes with variable speed on them, with dust extraction systems on each one, right up through some bigger lathes. Behind you there's a medium-sized one and a larger one still here, which is capable of handling quite large bowls. In fact, there is an example of the sort of thing that can be made on the lathe like this over there on the table. That bowl was made on a similar lathe to this. So we've got ability to make a whole range of sizes and types of items for help with beginners right through to experienced turners who can come in and just use this as facilities they can work with. Actually, I got involved with the men's shed because I was moving house and my own workshop was out of commission for a few months, and I was looking for somewhere to do some wood turning, and at that time this is where Dundee and District wood turners were meeting. They've since amalgamated with the men's shed, and this is part of the combined organisation. So I came down here to be able to keep my hand in, so to speak, but in fact I ended up getting quite enthusiastic about it and joining in all fronts, because it's really a great organisation. It's a great opportunity to meet people who are interested in learning new skills and trying things out, and so that's what I've been trying to do in here, learn from other people what they've been doing and help some of the beginners learn some of the basic skills. And that's really a lot of what the men's shed is about, helping each other out.
We were donated some computers by 3,000 RPM, and they're laid out. Each computer has got its own wee programs that they wish to run, like paint shop, writing, and on this machine we're doing 3D. This machine is also coupled to this apparatus here, which was a kit for them, and it was an Arduino board that was made into a 3D laser or 2D laser cutter. And it's ideal for embellishing things, badges, logos, or whatever that would do onto the wood. Billy here, he started maybe just about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now he's compiling letters, and he's now been able to do his own emails and things like that. And it's just basically getting people a feel of the computers, not to be scared of them. People, when they come to a computer, they're somewhat bamboozled. They see the thing and go, oh, I don't know, I think I'll be able to do that. Just bite the bug, just get in there and just be like the cat, be curious.
In here we've got men from all walks of life. Tradesmen, professors, scientists, labourers, we've got wagon drivers, the whole lot. And they all come along here and they're all quite happy to get stuck in and do something. Some might like to turn their hand at woodworking, Others might do a bit of metal work, making brackets like this, look, for holding plant pots. Some of them, after a wee bit practice, are really, really skilled.
We seem to have quite a strong ethos of wanting to help other groups as well, which is something that I quite like. So some of the men have been using the equipment in the workshop to help other organisations and other charities, not-for-profit organisations. So they've been building things, passing them on. So for groups of perhaps elderly men who are not very mobile, we've been cutting up bits of wood to enable these other groups to screw them together, paint them, helping them to do what they can do as well. And we've also started discussions about getting a few men with early stage dementia to come and visit to help these guys as well. So there's a discussion about what other charities can we help, and that's something I really like.
I'm Dave. I'm a painter and decorator and a gardener by trade, and I've come down to the men's shed to learn how to do some joinery work, and I'm learning off the other guys here who were joiners by trade. And basically we're making some raised beds as planters for the middle of the building where there's a garden, and we're going to be growing vegetables which we donate to the Dundee Food Bank and Eagle's Wings Trust.
On an open day, we'll have lots of planters and hanging brackets and things like that made. And we usually have a very good turnout at the open day, usually at least 150 people, sometimes 200. And it's grand to come in here and see somebody selling all these planters and things, and they just disappear. In fact, we start taking orders for them.
I volunteer for Chaz. I do quite a few things for them. I do bucket shakes and things like that, and I introduced them to the men's shed, and they've been very good. They do a few things for them, restore rocking horses, if they're needing anything altered or anything like that. They're very good at that.
I think for me, I got involved with the group, helping them set up, and it very much, it's not so much about the activities that go on, it's about bringing men together to talk about issues that affect them, particularly older men. And there's been a real issue with that, showing up in statistical evidence and stuff, that their health gets worse after, they get past a certain age. So I think things like this help improve their overall health and well-being.
I've been absolutely really impressed with what I've seen today, and the quality of the work is amazing. But it's wonderful to see so many active older men here coming along, even if it's just for the company, and certainly doing anything they particularly want to do.
This is fantastic. I'm delighted to see such a large crowd. It's a wonderful project because so many men in later life wonder how to pass their time. Once you retire, as I will do soon, you have to wonder how you're going to fill your days, and this is amazing, the range of activities that are down here now that people can do and enjoy, make friends, and actually produce some quite worthwhile pieces of work at the end of the day. So I think it's fantastic, wonderful project.
The main benefits are just amazing. We Googled right at the very beginning what men's sheds were all about, and Google came up with lots of benefits of men living on their own, can't cook, depression, feeling of hopelessness once they'd retired. And what's amazed me is that we've had men with all of these sort of symptoms coming in. So we've had people who are feeling much better, but also there's quite a few of us on the committee who lead very active lifestyles anyway. But even for those of us, we've benefited no end. I've made new friends that I would never ever, people I would never have met if I hadn't been to this men's shed. And I think genuinely made friends for life. Interestingly, we get a lot of women phone up and say, my husband's retired, he's bored, can I send him along? And I think a lot of women tend to initiate the first contact, pushing the husbands along.
It takes up some of the free time, and it gets me out of my wife's feet. It was generally called underfoot syndrome. Men that pester their wives when they're sitting in the house. It's good. It's good because you could, instead of sitting in the house watching flog it and whatever, you could be here making stuff and then flogging it. You get a good laugh a nice bunch of guys, and you get basically allowed to do what you want within reason with the metalwork. Just your own thing, so to speak.
Depends on the person. It's like there's a blind boy comes, and he just mucks in with what he can do. He's learning the wood turning just now, and that's how it goes. A lot of the boys have got a different project. When I first came up here, I had a big shed, and when I emptied the shed, all my tools came in here. Some of these tools that I'm working with, these tools here are all mine at one time, but they belong to the shed now.
Some of the gentlemen, their skills are too valuable to lose, and they're passing them on to other people, and that's what it's all about. It's coming along, enjoying yourself, having a good crack, a cup of tea or coffee, and it's making friends, you know, and that's what it's all about. Some guys are perhaps just lonely. Well, one gentleman at the moment who's 80 odds, and we're trying to get him to come along because he's lonely, and he doesn't have to do anything. He can just come along and have a chat. That's what it's about.
There's one chap, he's got dementia, and his wife just doesn't know him, but he gets her up, gets her washed, dressed and everything, and he's busy from morning till night looking after his wife. On a Monday and a Wednesday afternoon, he gets a carer comes in, and she looks after his wife while he comes down to the shed to recharge his batteries. He really loves it. Sometimes he has a crack with other men, other times he just wants a quiet seat and a look at the papers. And really, that's what the men's shed's all about. Do your own thing when you fancy it, and I hope everybody enjoys it. In fact, seeing the smiles on the faces, they do enjoy it. And if they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't come back.